The dinosaur was really fucking scary, and I just froze. Didn't move. The intense fear taught me immediately how to like cease movement in every muscle in your body. Watch.
Okay.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to Oklahoma Out Loud. I'm Coda.
I'm Ethan. Today we're gonna be talking about a lot of things like Bitcoin, self-improvement. We're gonna talk about changing vocab in your conversations to help better yourself.
The importance of your mindset.
Yeah, just all types of shit we're gonna be getting into.
So Bitcoin, if any of y'all don't know, if y'all haven't been on the Bitcoin wave, Bitcoin is going up, baby. If y'all ain't making the money, that's on you, but we over here making money on Bitcoin. So how important do you think crypto really is?
Let's
for
talk
the
about
world?
the price right now. Bitcoin is at 69,890 right now. And
Sheesh.
I want to say like a little over 3 months ago, like that shit was at like 30,000. I have to get it. Where was that, 40,000?
40,000 3 months ago. So think, if you bought Bitcoin 3 months ago, 40,000 was what it was up? At 40,000 around dollars in that price range, say you got in around the $40,000 price range, it's hitting 70, like occasionally now. Not even just like, oh, it hit 70 the other day. It's went back down, but it hit 70 and I cashed out. No, it is hitting 70 consistently and occasionally.
Yeah, you can double your money pretty fast off of cryptocurrencies in general and just trading in general. If you haven't gotten into trading or learning how to trade, I suggest it. I'm not a financial advisor, but you should learn how to read stocks, learn how to read charts.
It's really not financial advice. It's more life advice because, in my opinion, day trading, it's soul freeing. Once you learn the skill, it can take you a long time to learn the skill, but once you learn the skill, you don't have to really put effort in.
Yeah, no, it's really not something that you have to really put effort into. It's something that you can do, like y'all just saw me checking my phone, and I was able to tell you what the price was. You can do everything off your phone. If you have a laptop, you can do everything off a laptop.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's got a phone, so it's not something you can't do or something you can't learn.
And again, genuinely, how important do you think just the crypto market is with the new era and the new world we're slowly stepping into? Fuck. Forgot to mute my phone.
I don't know. Really, it's probably pretty important, honestly, with the way the world's going in the direction. You should probably have some investment into Bitcoin or some major currency. Like, obviously, you don't gotta take meme coin serious, but I would take Bitcoin. I would take Ethereum.
SHIB.
SHIB's a meme coin.
Yeah, but if you know what you're doing, don't throw all your money on SHIB, but if you know what you're doing, you can make a little pocket change with it.
That is another thing. Don't throw all your eggs in one basket.
Never throw all get your hands into as many pies as possible. When you go to a pie tasting, per se, do you only taste one pie, or do you eat as many pies as possible? Think about your money like that. Get your money in general, not even just investments. Do multiple avenues to generate income. Go through multiple avenues. But yeah, no, back to what I was saying. You gotta go through multiple You gotta go through multiple streams to generate your revenue. You can't just put all your revenue in one spot. Think about it the job way. If you're only going to work to generate income, you know how much money you're gonna make. Why would you not want to add on top of that? You have free time unless you're working 60, 70 hours a week. You have free time. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. You will always have free time where you can do this. Go start a merch business. Plug brand, by the way. Start a merch business. Write some songs. Start an entertainment company. Do some YouTube videos. Start a podcast. There's so many different things of productive activities that you could be doing with your time that could in the future benefit your pocket greatly.
Yeah, and another thing we can talk about, like, just kind of easing into it too. Like, that'll bring us into the next topic of, like, having motion but not setting in action. So, like, a good example would be going to the gym, but just like kind of moseying around, not doing anything, just chilling.
We've
like,
all seen that person at the gym.
Like you've been going to the gym for years and no progress has been made. Like you got motion, you go to the gym, but you don't do anything there. You're not getting anything done. You're not actually motivated to do things. You just kind of do what you want, and then you're done. And like, which is good. Like you got a good starting point by going, and that's good. But like you have to actually put in the action to fucking get anything out of it.
You can't just go to say you're going, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and then, like another thing you can talk. Another thing on that is like for the Bitcoin, you can just throw your change in there. Like there's all types of like Cash App's got it. Everything's got it basically. Where you can just throw your change into Bitcoin or whatever.
Habits. That also dives into something else I wanted to talk about. I'm tired of addictions being labeled as bad because for some reason, if you're addicted to an activity and it's good for you, it's labeled as a habit. So, but addiction, people look at it as they can't beat it. Habits, people look at it on the sideways thing. If you have an addictive personality or you easily get addicted to things, get addicted to positive things. Get addicted to things that brighten your future, brighten your body. Get addicted to going to the gym. Get addicted to making money. Get addicted to something that makes you money. Get addicted to anything positive. If you can get addicted to bad things, knowing all the pros and cons of them, because I'm not going to say everything you can get addicted to has no pros. If you can weigh out the pros and cons of all the things that are bad that you can get addicted to and still get addicted to them as heavy as you do, why can't you weigh out the pros and cons of the good things that you can get addicted to and not get also addicted to those things?
Yeah, to speak on that, I would say with addiction, really what I was going to say with the habits is really there's no good or bad habits. There's like really effective habits. That's really all it is. It's just negatively affecting you and positively affecting you. And the same with addiction. There's negative addictions, positive addictions. You again, bring up the gym. You can go to the gym, and that can be a positive addiction. You can be addicted to that. That's a negative addiction.
Yes, you can. It very is negative. Very much.
There's all types of addictions. This is a negative addiction. Phones. There's all types of negative addictions in the world, and there's also a lot of positive addictions that are offered that people don't really take into accountability or take into like really take the opportunity to do or use. Like the gym again is a perfect example. Is something that so many people need to do, but they don't want to, so they just don't. So many people would rather sit here on their laptop or phones or TV and watch Netflix all day instead of going to the gym whenever they can buy some weights and watch TV and do it.
100%. So easy to just work. Like, especially if you have home equipment, why would you not want to watch TV while you work out?
Yeah, if you don't want to spend money on a gym membership, spend that money that you would spend on a gym membership on equipment. And if you can't do that, you got groceries, you gotta bring them every time. I mean,
no, for real.
Go grab the milk jugs.
Fill the milk jug up with water when it's done.
There's always options. It's just, you gotta take into accountability where you're at in life and figure out what you want to do and take small steps to further your path in that. Like, you can condense, I was listening to an audiobook, Atomic Habits, and you can condense any habit into 2 minutes. And if you can't, then you need to figure out something else to do. Like, or just figure out a way to simplify it, because you can always, like anything, you can simplify it in 2 minutes. You don't gotta complete it, but you can simplify it, you can start it.
Just chip away at the block.
Like this yesterday, we were supposed to start this podcast yesterday, but we got everything set up. It's gonna provoke us to do it today, because everything's in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So now we are, sitting in my living room with all the podcast equipment on, and we're filming the podcast. We're finally doing it.
Yeah.
Been talking about this since like 2016. It is now 2024. It took us a long time. It took us a lot of small steps, but we are finally doing it.
Chip away at the block. And then that also leads into another topic. You have to change the vocab in your mindset, in my opinion, to properly appreciate life and where you're at, and to keep moving forward as well. Because if you don't appreciate where you're at and where you could be, I feel like you're gonna take it for granted and just flush everything down the toilet. Just simply change your vocab, and it will make your day so much better.
Yeah, an example of that would be like saying, instead of saying I have to do something, say I get to do it. That's an easy, simple, like, start of that. Like, instead of having I have to go to work, I get to go to work. Some people don't got jobs.
Some people can't get
Some
jobs.
people can't get jobs. Some people really would love to make money every single week or every other week. They would love that. Like, you get to do that. You get to drive. You get to go on walks. You get to see every day. You get to wake up every day. You get to... It's just something you can change your vocab instead of having to do it.
100%. You get
I have
to do
to
dishes.
go to work. I have to go do this. Yeah. I mean, again, even on negative things, like, I have to do the dishes. I get to do the dishes. I got dishes and I can do them. Yeah, it's a blessing some people don't have.
100%.
And you just gotta change your way of thinking and perspective about it. And really, you gotta change your perspective about everything.
Yeah, once you look at, in my opinion, once you look at things in life from every possible perspective, not just your own inward perspective and even just perspective of your friends, that's not enough in my opinion. Look at it genuinely from every perspective possible if you really want to see how well you are doing in life. But don't get complacent. Don't use that as an excuse. Strive. Because if you're not striving, you're lazy. But just change your vocab up.
Take accountability as well. Accountability is the biggest enemy to so many people. So many people cannot take accountability for their lives.
That's why so many people stay depressed. They can't be accountable for the reasons that they're depressed, and they don't want to change anything.
All you have to do is
easy example.
change your life. It's up to you. Everything is up to you in your life. Everything that happens to you is your fault. And once you accept that, your life will change.
100%.
You just have to finally get that. And once you get that, then you can probably start making changes in your life that will better you long in the future.
100%. 100%. But what if the people listening are, again, what we were talking about earlier, they're just going through the motions and they don't know how to take the action?
Like I said, small steps, condense it into a 2-minute thing. We had all this shit set up. It's out here in the way, and now we're doing this. So all it takes is, it took me probably 2 minutes to set all this shit up yesterday. It took me 2 minutes to set it up today. I just screwed everything. It took me less than that because I just screwed everything up.
Yeah.
And plugged everything back in. That's it. Usually I condense it into less time and like just make things simple. Everybody makes everything too complicated.
100%. Like, another good example, if you don't want to get into videography and you don't like the example he used, you're not understanding it. Say you're a writer and you write music or you write books, movies, whatever it may be. If you can't, you can always, there's really no excuse in my opinion as someone who writes. You can always pull out your phone, go into the notes, and for 2 minutes every day, you should be, if that is your hobby and that is what you're pursuing, every day for 2 minutes at the very least, write some stuff.
Even 1 minute. It shouldn't take you more than a minute to sit here and try to meditate for 1 minute. If you want to be a musician, set the guitar or whatever you play or whatever you do in the middle of the room so you have to walk around it. Like, get it in the way. Make it and then like also with negative habits, put it away. Get it out of sight. Make it disappear. It'll make it a lot harder for you wanting to do it. Every time you're done with the video games, put it in the closet.
I agree. And a beautiful example of that for all the men listening, so think about it like this. If your girl is lying in bed naked all the time, does it bring your horniness up? Of course it does, versus fully clothed. When you're looking at weed for the stoners, does it make you want to smoke? Versus you're at work and you're just chit-chatting with the bands, talking shit, getting work done. You don't want to smoke. You're not thinking about the activity. If it's in your face, you are going to think about it.
And that brings up another topic too that I recently learned in the book that I was listening to. You get the same amount of dopamine from expecting a reward as you do from getting a reward. So if you make plans and you do all this and like that right there is the same amount of dopamine like you are expecting it. Like whatever it is, like any example, like
In some cases, it's even more dopamine.
like for cocaine, for example, like cocaine heads, they get dopamine from seeing the cocaine. Now they want to do it. It's not necessarily the fact that they get dopamine from doing it. It's the fact that they get it from seeing it. Now they want to do it. And same with weed. Same with anything, really. People are the same way with soda. People are the same way with anything. With video games, you see a controller or whatever. You want to play video games now. That's how kids are all the time. And like, it's not just adults. Like, even children fall into the habits, negatively and positive habits. You just gotta guide them in the right direction. Guide yourself in the right direction. Really guide yourself, and other people around you will also see that you are guiding yourself in the right direction, and they will follow. Even subconsciously, they're not realizing it, they are following.
If everyone else around you quit smoking, are you going to be the only one still smoking?
And that's another thing about smoking too, is if you're trying to stop smoking, stop saying that you're trying to stop smoking. Say, I'm not a smoker anymore. Because otherwise you are identifying as a smoker that is trying to not do something anymore that you want to do. Identify as somebody that doesn't do that.
I agree. Personally, if you want my opinions on things like that...
Habits are really identifying factors, honestly.
100%. No, you're good. You have to want and try. Because in my opinion, with quitting addictions and quitting this, starting this, if you aren't doing it, you're not trying. In my honest opinion, you just don't like what you're doing or where you're at in life. Because, I'm sorry, I've watched 4 or 5 good friends, and I'm only 22. I'm pretty young. They've been smoking since kids, like 13, 14. 4 or 5 good friends quit smoking cold turkey like that. Like, nothing happened. And they don't hit vapes, they don't do blunts, nothing. Because they didn't try, they did it. If you were trying, it's because you are completely content with where you're at or what you're doing. If you're not doing it, you are not trying.
I mean, yeah, obviously you can't get better just sitting in your room saying you're depressed and posting your 11/11s on Snapchat. You're not gonna get better. You gotta actually try. Go outside. Go for a walk. If you don't want to, like, in the book, that's probably why I keep bringing it up. Is because they was talking about the gym. That was their example. In the book, they talk about the gym a lot. And if you want to go to the gym, you want to start going to the gym, just go home after work and put the fucking gym clothes on. Just start doing that. Change into your gym clothes. And then eventually, if you're still, step outside, go for a walk in your neighborhood in your gym clothes. And go get a gym membership.
Get a gym membership on the way home from work. So you have to stop by it on the way home from work. Keep your gym clothes in the car.
Yeah, create as minimal friction as possible so you don't got to go. Even if it's a block away, it's too far. It needs to be on your way to work.
100%. Because humans, naturally, we are lazy. We will look for as many excuses as possible when we don't want to do something to not do it. Even when you're fully motivated, you're subconsciously looking for excuses to not do something if you do not want to do it. So just take away the minimalistic steps. Like we've said, just take away those small steps and the tasks that seem hard, that seem difficult in life become much easier.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just, you gotta start with that 2-minute rule. It takes 2 minutes to start. Just put on the clothes.
Do a few jumping jacks.
Step outside. You don't even gotta do jumping jacks. Just step outside for a second and then walk back in. There's your 2 minutes. Take your clothes, change back into some comfy clothes. There, you did your 2 minutes. Now do that every single day, and I promise you'll want to get further than just stepping outside.
100%. And then to put on top of that too, you have to start somewhere, because if you're 400, 500 pounds, I'm not trying to be mean, but you can't just go to the gym, just get into it. You're just not going to be able to do it. If you can't be that big, or I'm just using gym because it's easy for everyone to understand, because it goes with all the habits. If you've never written a book, song, movie, or anything like that, you can't just hop in and just, you got to slowly chip things away, like we've been talking about.
Yeah, no,
But, like,
you gotta build up to it. You can't just jump into it. But that's the issue with it. Like a lot of we are bred as humans. We are instant gratification type breed. That's what we want. It's instant gratification.
Especially in this modern era, yeah.
Especially now today, yeah. Especially it's worse than ever. Everybody needs instant gratification.
Yeah, it's gotten to a point, and what my opinion, the easiest thing that proves it is social media. Because if you look and you actually take tips on how to get big on social media, you have to catch the eye immediately. And you have to retain that attention by changing subjects, changing this, that, changing the camera, cuts, all that. Quick, constantly, because if the camera stays on the same shot for too long, if you stay on the same subject for too long, if you're doing the same thing for too long, even if they are entertained by it, the attention span isn't there anymore. And if you don't draw the attention immediately, we're all guilty of it. You just keep scrolling. We're all guilty of it.
Right. And yeah, we have alarms on our phones too. We can set alarms. We can do all types of stuff to help us throughout our lives. And especially with the technology we have today, it's so easy to benefit and just grow with what we have just at our fingertips.
100%.
And you can make money. You can do literally anything off this phone. We could film this off of our phones.
100%. You could, and that's why I don't understand why people fall into so many of the bad traps with phones. Because you can talk to somebody in China with that. You can talk to somebody completely across the world. You can learn about cultures that realistically 100 years ago you would have never even heard of, or never would have heard of in your life. And you can learn the intricate details of how they live their day-to-day lives. And it's just, I just don't understand, because phones, in my opinion, are the sharpest double-edged sword in all of human history.
Yeah, I
They've
agree.
destroyed the proper social construct, because honestly, my number one pet peeve is going out to dinners, and everyone's just, that is my number one pet peeve in life. That shit pisses me off. Why did we all come out to eat together? I could have made something at home and just not. But then again, like you said, you can make money off of it. We can talk to people across the world, learn about so many different things, but it's caused so many bad addictions. I feel like it's just one of the sharpest double-edged swords in human history. All right, so I don't know if you want to get personal like that, but just out of curiosity, what caused this specific mindset change?
What?
All of this. Because I get you've always thought like this, but what made you start taking the action? What was the final?
Tired of being broke. That's really it. I'm just tired of being broke.
Just trying to pretend to not know.
Yeah, no, I know.
What is your advice?
So really, that's what it is. I'm tired of being broke. I would rather have nice things. I would rather have a nice life. I would rather have a way better house. I would rather have a lot of things. And in life, you can't have that unless you try, unless you really, really, really try. And you can want, another thing that the book says, losers and winners have the same dreams, and goals. Just winners actually try. Winners have a system for trying.
100%.
All you gotta do is put in a system for trying.
100%, because here's my example. I'm pretty sure everyone listening to this, and that will listen to this, we all know who Triple H is, right?
Yes.
Multi-billionaire. How much time do you think he spends leisure?
Probably a very good amount of his time.
None.
No?
He's said on many podcasts, 0 hours are considered leisure hours. The only time he does leisure hours are occasionally on jets with his wife when they're flying out to other areas to do business.
Yeah, see?
He doesn't consider his kid. He takes care of his kids and does shit with his kids. He doesn't consider those leisure hours, and honestly, neither do I. As a man, if you're not taking care of your kids, you're not a man.
Yeah, no, I get it. I feel that. I can see where if you fucking working, making billions of dollars, you probably don't have that much leisure time.
None. He doesn't use any. He's focused on continuing to build his empire and make money.
Yeah,
and
no.
that's where, like I said,
I don't know much about him, but yeah, no, facts.
do you think most of these
sense.
people with large bank accounts spend... And we all think they do. We all think they do. But do you genuinely think they got there and they are staying there and continuing to build their wealth by just spending 6 out of the 7 days a week fucking off?
Yeah, no, really, what I would say, I would consider work, like, for what majority of billionaires probably, like, maybe not him, I don't know what he does, but I would say majority of billionaires, they probably have a good amount of leisure time that they have, but they work while they're doing it. Like I said, like you do,
Well, that's their leisure.
Like if you, like I said, if you want to watch Netflix and have leisure time, work out while you're doing that. So that way you are getting something done while you're doing what you want. And you gotta get something that you need done, and you can do with something you want. You gotta have a reward system, or set it up while you're combining your wants and needs. But it's gotta be either one after another, or you can't just have the needs, or you can't just have the wants. You're gonna have needs. Like you gotta, like you can't put in 0 effort and expect to have $1,000 at the end of each month just because you want it. It's just not gonna happen like that. You have to work towards that. And that's a very, very minimal goal, is to have $1,000 in your bank account at the end of each month. That is very simple.
Very.
And it's not a hard goal, but a very, very large majority of people struggle with that. That I know personally, just because it's hard to discipline yourself from your wants and your needs.
100%. Because in my opinion, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, genuinely you have to assess. There's no reason you should, unless you are like working a poverty job and the income and the economy in the area you live is completely trashed. There is no reason you should be living check to check. Absolutely zero.
Yeah, no. If you don't have your priorities straight, you're gonna be living check to check regardless of your situation. You have seen you can see millionaires living check to check. You can see.
Yeah, true. Right. But that's why I'd even say if you were a millionaire and you were living check to check, you need to reassess.
Exactly. Like everybody needs to reassess. If you don't have your priorities straight, you're gonna struggle. Your bills come first, and then your wants. Your needs come first, and then your wants. And then if you have children, their needs become way before your needs, and then their wants come before your wants. That's just the way the world works. You shouldn't have opened your legs. You shouldn't have stuck it in there if you didn't want that issue.
100%. And if you wanted to anyway, because you were taken over by horniness, I'm sorry, but there's so many ways to prevent that, and it's again your fault. Don't cave in.
Everything that happens in your life is your fault.
Exactly. Don't cave in.
You can be rear-ended, and I will say that is your fault. I don't care what it happens. I get it. It's always the person that rear-ends you, their fault legally, but it's your fault for leaving that early. It's your fault for leaving at that time. You sped through an intersection, or you sped down a street that you normally don't, or you was chilling, cruising down the street you normally don't. Or maybe you're just going down your regular path. You didn't change nothing.
And you
but you still chose to leave at that same time, and you got too comfortable or whatever. Not even you got too comfortable. Things just happen that you can't control.
No, you got too comfortable. That's a good one. You got too comfortable. In my opinion, never, ever get comfortable in life. If you're comfortable where you're at,
because you
you're
can't
not gonna try as
control
hard.
someone's gas pedal getting stuck and them slamming into the back of you or something. You can't control that. You can't predict that. There's nothing you could do about that.
But hear me out.
You can say that
super relaxed and comfortable behind the wheel, you're not going to see it coming at all. If you're kind of, geeking about not really geeking per se, but if you're making sure no one's gonna rear end you, you might still get rear ended, but you definitely have a way better chance of getting out of the way.
Yeah, or like stop and go traffic. Like you can get rear ended there, but like, it's your fault. You shouldn't have been in that stop and go traffic. Should have took the main streets.
You know what traffic's like that time of day.
Yeah, should have waited in the parking lot a little longer or something. Should have went to go get it. Like, it's not really should have. It's just, you can't do anything about it. Things happen that we can't control. But at the end of the day, you can take accountability for the good or the bad. If you went outside and it was raining and you got wet, why didn't you bring an umbrella?
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't have an umbrella, why didn't you buy an umbrella? You know it rains. You know it rains. Why don't you have an umbrella? Why don't you have something to put on over you so that way you are good if you are worried about getting wet from the rain? You can't control the weather, but it happens. Be prepared for it. Just take accountability for your actions and what happens in your life. If you can't pay your bills because you bought weed, that's your fucking fault.
Imagine not being able to pay your bills because you bought weed.
That is your fault. If you can't pay your bills because you quit your job because you didn't like the way management was treating you, why didn't you have another job lined up?
I'm going to get more extreme with it. If you can't pay your bills because you got injured and you can't work, it's your fault. Why didn't you have money saved up?
Yeah, if you break your neck and you can't work for months.
Months. Why didn't you have money saved up? There's just so many simple things that genuinely people don't care about, in my opinion, because there's no way they don't think about it unless they're stupid. They're like...
No, it's not that they don't care, I don't think. It's that they don't really realize that it's an issue until it's in their hands.
And that's where, I'm sorry, but you're stupid.
And again, like, honestly, I guess you could say they don't care because you knew, like, I mean, you should know. Everything is, like, notified. You get notified for everything. People just don't do what they're supposed to do, and then they complain about it.
Yep. And then, in most cases, if you don't take accountability, who is? Because no one's going to take accountability for you. I don't know who said it, but I completely agree with it to an extent, unless it is your significant other. In those cases, you should. But nobody on this motherfucking earth, except your parents and your significant other, is waking up in the morning and one of the first thoughts they think is, man, how do I make their day better? How do I make their life better?
Yeah, nobody is thinking about you.
Realistically.
You're not special. Nobody cares. Just like nobody cares about this podcast. This is the first episode. There's not going to be many viewers. But maybe a year from now, we'll be at 1 million subscribers. Or maybe we'll be at 100. It doesn't matter. But we are making small steps to a bigger goal. And that's all that matters. Take accountability in your life. Do what you need to do. If your life's not in order, sit down and just think for a little bit. Just sit and think, and you're not going to like the answers that you come up with because it's going to be the truth, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be an issue, and it's going to be all types of shit, but you got to do it.
You know, there's thousands of languages, and you chose to speak facts. My genuine, I don't have a whole lot to say. I'm not going to go off on some tangent. My last thing to say to you, after everything we've said on this podcast, after it's your own life, do not disappoint yourself in 20 years. Don't. It is yourself. Don't do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Think about yourself in the future. Where do you want to be? That's what you should be planning for. Plan for your future. Grow. Be better.
You might not think about it now, but when I'm 22. When I'm 42, I'm going to be thinking about 22-year-old me and the mistakes I've made. I'm going to be thinking about 16-year-old me and the mistakes I made then. I'm going to think about 10-year-old, I don't care, it might just be me and obsessive on my mistakes, but I'm going to be thinking about 10-year-old me and how I could be in a better position, no matter how good the position I'm in.
Yeah, no, there's always things you think about. Was it like if foresight was as good as hindsight, we'd all be millionaires.
100%.
Like, you gotta learn from your mistakes. That's why we have hindsight. You look back on it and you think about it. You learn. That's why we have habits. You learn really young, not to touch the stove because it's hot.
Yeah. And then you don't touch the stove ever again. Unless you touched it that one time. And then you never again.
Probably an accident. Because it's hot. It burns. You don't want to touch it. It's a habit. If it's not a habit you think of as a habit. Light switches are habits you don't think of as a habit. As soon as you walk into a dark room, your first instinct is...
If you do not have a daily morning routine and a proper one that is productive and effective, do it.
If you
I don't care what it is.
Expect failure.
Exactly.
And if you are... Also, if you have one, expect failure. Expect failure...
Every time, so you're not
for
disappointed.
everything. Not even that. But not really expect it. But know that failure comes with success.
I agree.
You cannot win without failure. You cannot I believe that the equal, like, whatever you put into the universe, you get back. Like, I believe that fully. Like,
Same.
if you can't win without losing. And you gotta put in the effort. You gotta put in the blood, sweat, and tears, or you're not gonna win. You gotta lose sometimes, or you're not gonna know what it feels like to win.
That's why it's called the trials and tribulations, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. There's only been one team in NFL history that had an undefeated season. And all of those guys on that team lost games still outside of that one season. And it still only happened for 16 games.
And they all probably started in Little League and probably had losses there. And that's where it starts. You gotta start somewhere. They started from little kids. But, look at KFC. Colonel Sanders, he didn't start doing nothing until he was like 60. And then he became a millionaire off of his chicken.
Well, honestly, yeah, KFC, another good one. I know everyone hates him, Logan Paul. Unless he was lying to everybody and he was been wrestling since he was a kid, man had no experience in WWE style wrestling. Trained for 6 months, and now everyone's talking about how he's one of the best WWE wrestlers that they have on their roster today. All it took was 6 months of effort, pure, undistracted effort on a skill he wanted to learn. And now the general public thinks he's one of the best at it.
Yeah, it just takes practice. You gotta actually do it. He actually did it. He said he was going to. And that's another thing. If you say you're gonna do something, it will give you more incentive to do it. Say like, I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow. That would give you more incentive to actually go to the gym tomorrow. If you're saying that. And especially if you're saying it in conversation with people.
100% in conversation with people, yeah.
Then they will have you, then it would be like, then if they ask if you went to the gym and you tell them no, they're going to be like, okay. Well, what did you do?
For real. No, I agree.
You went home and sat and did nothing? Okay. Just do what you say you're going to do, and people won't expect you to not do what you say you're gonna do, basically. Just be a man of your word. Do what you say you're gonna do. Do what you need to do. Take care of yourself. Yeah.
And then if you do that enough, then you can take care of your peoples.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Take care of yourself before you try to take care of other people. Because you're nobody. Honestly, anybody watching this, you are probably nobody.
And if you are somebody, please shout us out.
You need to just try. We're trying. That's all this is. We're trying.
No matter what it is in life, whether you want to be a musician, a painter, a doctor, a fucking astronaut, try. No, don't try. Like I said, you're not trying. Do it.
Yeah, don't try.
Enough practice.
Just do it. We're doing this. We're not trying. We're doing it.
Enough practice at any skill. If you are so skilled that you are undeniable, they will have to give you your dues.
Yeah. No, you can't be denied your flowers. Probably into here. This is probably a good spot. Do what you need to do. Take care of your shit. Buy your merch. Pushingpressure.com.
Facts. All the plugins will be in the description for his merch website. Go check it out, and if you like anything, buy it.
Hit my Instagram up for cover arts if you are artists, or if you need music videos, hit me up. All the Instagrams and everything will be down in the bio below. Please like, share, subscribe, all that.
All that.
It's OKC Out Loud. See y'all in the next one.
Peace.